Brr! How do animals stay warm in winter? Well, I know people, we add on layers. Let's think about this in this week's Weird Science. For this experiment, I need a deep kind of a bowl dish. That's what I kind of use. And I have a scoop from the kitchen and obviously some snow. Now, if for some reason you don't have any snow, it's okay. You can also use ice. So go ahead and fill your bowl on up and bring it on inside. So I added water to the dish of snow that I captured outside and I have it set up in my laboratory here. I also took a pint-sized bag and I added about 2 cups of vegetable shortening inside of a bag. Now you'll notice I have a gloved hand that I'm going to stick right inside that bag. So I want you to be thinking about what the purpose of the shortening is going to be. And then I also have a gloved hand without anything on it. No protection whatsoever. So how long could I keep my hand in there? Ooh, it's very cold. Oh my. I mean, I have a little thin latex glove on it, so it's kind of protected. But oh boy. After a while, I can imagine I probably would get some beginning where it will turn red on my hand, and if it was prolonged period of time, probably some frostbite, right? So, not a great idea. In Weird Science, we're talking about what it is that we need to do. As humans, we cover ourselves with coats and mittens and hats, and in this case, I used vegetable shortening to mock what might be known as blubber or some extra fat that animals would have. And you know what? I am feeling no kind of cold pain or anything. I'm feeling very, and I'm going to use a special word, insulated from the elements of cold. So again, items that I chose to use were a deep bowl, a scoop, snow, you can also substitute with ice, water, a couple of quart-size Ziploc bags, and I actually had some latex gloves. If you don't have latex gloves, that's okay. You can also use a second Ziploc bag, such as a sandwich bag or another quart-size or pint-size bag. You could even use a gallon-size bag if you'd like. The whole point is so that it can keep it collected. Of course, the vegetable shortening was another feature that I used as well. Now, I want you to take the time to try this and think about what the purpose of the shortening, which I termed as blubber or fat, and how it insulates from the cold. So, as we wrap up this week's Weird Science, I wanted to share with you a little bit about polar bears. Polar bears, as a little fun fact, are well insulated and have a layer of blubber. As we were experimenting with our vegetable shortening in our experiment, so imagine that they have some that's 10 centimeters thick, so like that, that covers with also 15 centimeters of fur, so fluffy fur on top of that blubber. So of course they're keeping very, very warm, and their skin is actually black underneath. Even though their fur looks white and they look like they're white animals, the black skin underneath actually helps to absorb the heat from the sun and keeps them extra warm. Amazing, right? Well, I didn't want to end our time together without you knowing a few opportunities for some books for further fun, such as Humanimal, which is incredible ways that animals are just like us. And this book is a fabulous and fun way to explore a little bit more about how we're kind of similar. You know, we have different body systems, but we're very alike in how we kind of keep our body systems working and operating. You know, we would never, as humans, go outside in the colds without putting on layers of clothing, and animals have different ways to adapt to different climates, right? Migration, incredible animal journeys. And this is another feature about our animals. Some animals, as we know, move to different parts depending on the weather. So like our birds, some of them fly south for the winter. So those are some different things to discover. The XYZ animals, and these are different questions that might be answered about animals as well. Frozen wild, how animals survive in the coldest places on Earth. Wow, doesn't it just give you that, ooh, kind of gives you the chillies, doesn't it? Hibernation station. And you know what? This is interesting because there's always been a lot of questions about how bears, they hibernate. So it's kind of like they take a long winter's nap. There's a lot of information about that and how long they actually do nap and why do they take this long winter's nap. So things to think about. Hush up and hibernate. And I just thought this was a really beautifully illustrated book that I wanted to share with you as well. Animal. And this is an eyewitness book, and a lot of kids love these eyewitness books, so there's a lot of different pieces of information about animals and how they survive. And of course, Animal Atlas, which I wanted to share as well. Well, friends, it's been great, and I can't wait to hear all about what you discovered when you tried our experiment for Weird Science this week. Take care, stay warm. Brr. So what is the connection between a gloved hand and vegetable shortening? Tell me all about it on our Instagram page. Tag me at Manlius Library, #Miss Wendy.